Hey, smart people. Is this extreme memory demonstration fact or fiction? Being able to remember people's names is the single most important interpersonal communication skill you can have. Unfortunately, it seems to be so rare that if you're good at remembering names, others will look at you as if you have a superpower. In fact, during this video, you're going to join me at a live seminar where you'll see whether or not I can remember the names of every member of a pretty large audience. And wait till you see, it's a ridiculous number of people. Can I do it? Or will I mess up? And if you're wondering why in the world would I put myself through this kind of pressure, here's why I go to the effort. Remembering people's names is important. People love it when you know their names. It's the first and most important step in building a connection with them. In fact, it's so important that I think it should be the very first lesson taught on every student's very first day of preschool or kindergarten. Okay, children, for our first lesson, we're going to learn the names of all the other boys and girls who are in your class. But is that what they do? No. The reality is that most people go through their whole lives not doing too well at remembering people's names. And that's unfortunate because there are a ton of benefits. Others will regard you with increased respect and admiration. It'll save you from the terrible embarrassment of forgetting someone's name. You'll gain amazing self-confidence when you can walk into any room or business meeting or party and know everyone's name. It not only does wonders for your social life, but in this day and age where so many are joining networking groups to increase their business, remembering names helps you to become viewed as an authority and be vastly more persuasive. And the list of benefits goes on. Be sure to stay tuned to the very end because I will share some of my very best secrets with you and even provide you with a couple of great resources. But now, let's go to this live seminar where I was the MC of a large sales training event. The video was shot on someone's cell phone back in 2013 at the Sacramento Convention Center in California.
Some of you know that there's something that I call that thing you do. How many of you know what I'm about to do? All right. If you have a camera or a camera phone, this is something you may want to take video of. I have taken the time to make sure that I got to know each and every one of you. And now I am not perfect at this, but I have gotten pretty good. So I'm going to go around the room, and as I call off your name, if you would just please stand up and remain standing. Jeremy Scallon, Steve Hinton, and Steve's wife's name is Beeline. And he's going, he never met my wife. Oh yeah, and by the way, take your name tags and turn them upside down, or you can take them off all together. So, and we have Don LaChance, whose wife's name is Laura, and his sister's name is Catherine. Joel and Shaniqua. Where's Shaniqua? Joel Burrell, his wife Shaniqua, and his daughter Amina, who's 12 years old. Mary Wilson, Betsy and Terry Scallon. Now, I surprised Steve Burke last night when he came in. He went, "Man, you met me last time. You still remembered me." Deborah Kiss, James Fisher, Dan Burton, Gene Logan, Jay Coons, Catherine Knudsen, Kathy, Kevin Z, Big John McGowan, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get a photo of John and I together. Anybody got a photo of John and I together? Give me a step stool. Yeah. John, turn around. Let's see, we've got Dennis and David Nelson. John, I haven't met you yet. John Lydell with your wife, Kelly. Let's see, Jeff Carlson, Sandy and Tom Walton, the great Jim Lewis, JTL, Carol and John Markham over there on the side. We've got Steve Lovelace, Kelly Keltner, John Snyder, Steve Snowman. I was joking with Steve Snowman. Steve came down from Washington, and he said that he was coming on Facebook. He said he was coming to Sacramento to warm up. And I said, you have earned the name Snowman. Marcia Franco. I've not met Marcia, actually. Jerry Santiago. Larry Coleman. Last time I saw Larry was more than a year ago in Vegas. Rafael Gonzalez. Karina Beckby, who, the time I did this in Las Vegas, she was the only one in the room. I forgot her name. But I had been calling her by name the whole time. Now, this lady I have not actually met, so she's going to be surprised that I know she's Michelle Thorwaldson. We've got David Angelo, Erwin McKen, Amy Jo Neal, Eric Eisenberg, Adam Chandler. I'm going to come around on this side over here. Erwin Hubbard, Pete Olson, Maria Davila, Lanny Lee, Davy Lim. I'm going to get back to you two guys in a second. Charlie Rush, Doug Mercurio, Stan and Sue Steffen, Rowena Perez, Tony Dupree, Gregory Gold, Brian Goldman, Dan Campling. Dan came in like this. He came in with his hand over his chest like he was going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And he stood in front of me, and with all the music blaring, I went, and ladies and gentlemen, Dan Campling. David Rodriguez and his friend, Mr. Chin Wesley. Jim Freeberg. I saw Jim in Vegas recently, and he came over to say hello, but he's a horseman. He's a professional jumper. This guy's amazing, and his favorite horse is Amazing Grace. Nikki Taylor. I'm surprised you didn't bring David Barron with you. Richard Henney. And Richard, you got here, and I hadn't even said hello to you yet. Barbara Goldbach, and she is from New Hampshire. Joe Skoda. Nora Heffernan. Now, Nora is a singer. You have got to get her new CD. Joyce Warner. And now this cat that I'm sitting next to over here with the cool-looking sideburns is Glenn Unruh. I haven't met him yet. Jeff Bangerter. David and Sue Hoyt. Of course, Michelle and Dave Lovett. I'm surprised that David Schwind is not with you, but I know he is expected. Nancy Kevorkian. Her maiden name is Schmerbeck. The great and beautiful Dolores Kent. I wish I knew some secret about her, but two great kids, Mackenzie and Michaela. Rob Brewer. Dale Horton. The guy in the purple shirt, I complimented this cat in the purple shirt, James Ryle, because I absolutely dig that color. John Musan, Barry Lindsay, Scott Grossman, the beautiful and talented Consuelo, Dwayne, Glenn and Emmanuel Gray. Trenton, I didn't even see you sneak in on me. Trenton Ingalls Jr. Hold on. The guy's getting ready to stand up on me. Gil Gray. Larry Hammond and the Wurlitzers. No, John Hammond. You know, John Hammond's a famous name. Of course, Gary Tavarit's already getting ready to stand up. Janet and Jerry Hoskin. As a matter of fact, I just met his wife Janet for the first time. Now, Dominic, I haven't seen you in a long time, Dominic William. Troy Dugo and I just met. I haven't seen you before. You just snuck in here. DiMaio, nice to see you. Matt McComas, Mike Henderson, Pam Mamuelis, Paul Bartleson. How did I do with the name? Pam, how did I do with the name? All right. Lisa and Steve Kawano. Michelle and Bill Pescosolido, the lovely and talented Jordan Schultz. By the way, I love hanging out with this guy. It's like hanging out with a rock star. Pat Anderson, Richard Cooley, Diane Kennedy, who we're all going to have the pleasure of hearing from a little bit later, Florida St. Alban, the lovely and talented Ellen Dial, Dave Afana. Dave was ready to leave the room. just a little while ago when I stopped them. He's got, okay, go ahead, Dave, you can go. Now, you would expect that I would know all of the founders, and, I'm not going to go through because you know that I know Jessica and Ray, even though Ray's standing here in the back. Now, obviously, I would know who they are, but his other dog, his more senior dog, is Baxter, but his newest puppy is Bella. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was a lot. Not only did I call every single person in my audience by name, but I also recalled the names of some of their family members who weren't in attendance, and even a couple of pets' names. How in the world am I able to do this? Earlier, I promised to let you in on my secrets. Well, the truth is, it's a technique. There's a system to it. I liken it to riding a bicycle. Nobody is born knowing how to ride a bike, but just about anybody can do it. And once you learn how, then you can always do it, even if it's been years. Being able to remember people's names is the same thing. There's a system to it. In a nutshell, it involves creating a picture or a visual image of somebody's name, and then connecting that image to them somehow. For example, if you meet someone with the same name as your brother or sister or one of your parents, your mind will often make an instantaneous connection without you even realizing it. Like Pat, my dad, or Patty, my mom. There are 4 different ways you can make those images too. Number 1, you already know someone with the same name, like I did with my parents' names. Number 2, the name already has a meaning, like Rose, Ruby, Bill, Art. Number 3, you use rhyme, like Skinny Vinny or Anna Banana. And number 4, the sound of the name can be made into an image. I teach this technique in my videos on memorizing both difficult vocabulary and also foreign language vocabulary 10 times faster. You can also use this technique for memorizing medical or scientific vocabulary, or learning any new words for that matter. For those of you who truly understand the importance of remembering names, I do a deep dive into the details in my book, How to Remember People's Names, and also in my video training course, How to Have an Incredible Memory. I put the links to both in the description below this video. I hope you check them out if this is a skill you really want to develop. It will make you feel super powered. Let's face it, there are a ton of people out there giving advice on how to be better at all sorts of different stuff. I showed you this video of me recalling a crazy number of people's names to prove a point. You may have heard it said, those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. Well, I'm one of those who do both. I'm able to do, and I'm able to teach. That's why, at this stage of my life, I've dedicated myself to making a lasting, positive difference in the lives of students of every age, even adult learners. If I'm helping you, I encourage you to give my videos a like, subscribe to my channel, share my videos with others on your social media, and post your comments and questions. As you've noticed, I frequently acknowledge your posts and often reply. As always, this is your favorite Uncle Matt, reminding you that everything I teach takes a bit of work and effort, but it's worth it. Always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom. I'll look forward to having you join me on other videos here on my channel.